Hi friends, it's Lauren Taylor and welcome back to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here. I have a few of the brand new Spellbinders products that were released on January 10th, 2024. I'm going to be creating with the flower stems, press plate, and die set, as well as the opal wax beads for today's project. And I'm going to be pressing my images onto some black cardstock. Now I'm hopping along with some of my other Spellbinders creators. This is not a hop sponsored by Spellbinders. There are no giveaways. We're just excited about the new products and want to show you some inspiration while you order and wait for your products to arrive. So I'm going to start with pressing my flower stems. So I've placed them onto my BetterPress system and I have my black cardstock that I am taping in place to the plate. I'm going to make sure that I've placed them in a spot where they will actually press onto my black cardstock. And then I'm going to actually use my Lisa Horton interference inks. These are Cloud 9 inks. When I add the ink to the plates, you're going to think this is a terrible color combination. But as the ink presses and dries into the dark black cardstock, you're going to see that the colors actually change. So these are a dye and pigment ink. So right now you're seeing the dye ink. I have a kind of a golden orange color. I've got purple, and then you'll see I've got another yellow when I add to the flowers. But when you use these inks on dark cardstock, or if you're layering on top of another dark pigment ink, you'll actually see the pigment rather than the dye ink. So while this color combination looks super strange and like I'm a Laker fan, I'm going to place the plate with the black cardstock on top and I will run it through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine. I run it through once and then send it back, making sure not to move my paper or my system in any way. And when I peel it off, you can see that the pigment is actually shining now instead of the dye ink on that black cardstock, and it will continue to dry, so some of that purple that we're still seeing will start to fade away, and I'm left with kind of an orangey pink flower and two different color greens on the stems, and I think it looks so pretty and I'm so excited that I will definitely be using these inks more on black cardstock. The flower stems press plate and die set has coordinating dies for all of the different press plates, which is so exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and outline all of these images with their dies and use some yellow tape to keep it in place. And I ran it through my die cut machine, so I'll go ahead and pull all of these flowers out now. I have 3 flowers and 2 different stems, but they just look so beautiful, and again, I'm loving these colors. They're very shiny and metallic on the black cardstock. I'll go ahead and put my press and plate die set away, or press plate and die set away, and I just decided to have a little fun kind of layering all the different stems and flowers together to get an idea of what I wanted to do for my project today. I have a piece of pattern paper that I thought matched the pink metallic look of the flowers, so I'll go ahead and trim this down to be slightly smaller than A2 in size. It's like 4, I think I did a 1/8 of an inch off of both sides, so it's very, very thin. It's pretty much A2, just slightly smaller. And I added some adhesive to the back side of that pattern paper and attached it to my top folding A2 card base. Now, I kind of wish I would have done some ink distressing on the edges, but it's still really cute, and I'll bring in some splatter in a little bit to help fill in what I feel is kind of like a plain background for my card. Now, to attach the flowers and stems, I'm going to be using a combination of black foam adhesive and liquid adhesive. So I'm adding foam adhesive to the tops of my flowers and the tops of my stems, and as I layer them together, I will start bringing in more of the liquid adhesive. I don't want to double up on any foam, so I'm just going to start first with this large open flower. I have that foam adhesive behind the flower, and I've got the liquid glue more on the stem and leaves. After that first flower, I'm going to tuck in one of the little stems or sprigs right behind my flower and some of the stem and leaves before the liquid glue dries too completely. And I'll go ahead and place that in. I'll grab the second stem and again adding foam adhesive more towards the top and liquid adhesive towards the bottom and tuck that in as well. I layered it kind of funky, but when I add the flowers, you won't be able to see it. I have the two little flowers that lean a little bit to the left on the left side of my bouquet that I'm creating, and finally the flower just with liquid adhesive that leans more towards the right on the right side of my bouquet. And I think it looks so pretty just like this. We could add a little sentiment to cover where my bouquet kind of gathers there on the bottom. But because I have the new Opal wax beads, I wanted to do a wax seal. Now, full disclosure, I've literally never used wax beads before this video. So I edited out some of my errors, but that's mostly because today is a hop and I don't want to keep you too long on my channel. I want you to check out some of the other creators, but I definitely will be doing a video in the future kind of talking about what I learned here with the wax beads. And then I have another wax bead mix from Spellbinders that I'm going to use on another project. So I definitely will be trying to do more with wax beads. I have this really kind of little rinky-dink setup, but that's just because I wasn't sure if I was going to like wax seals. It's not something that I've done before, like I've said, so I didn't want to invest too much into the wax seal setup until I knew for sure that I enjoyed it. So this really cheap, super cheap setup, I think got me through today, but I'll definitely be investing in Spellbinders setup. Pretty much after I'm done editing this, I will probably be shopping. So while I was talking, I did grab my graphite watercolors to add some of the more green graphite colored watercolor splatter to my card to match the black cardstock. I melted down those opal wax beads and poured it onto a silicone mat and added my Mystic Butterfly Wax Seal stamp. Once it was cool to the touch and I was able to lift the wax seal up with no issues, I bent my silicone mat and you can see how that peeled off just perfectly, and I love this opal color. I always say iridescent is my favorite color and opalescent is right behind it. So I just think this wax color is just so pretty. I also cut a piece of the ebony diamond metallic thread from DMC. You can get this in the Essential Holiday Bundle at Spellbinders. And I just kind of twisted a little kind of bow looking design with the string. I really had no rhyme or reason, just trying to create a bow look that will go behind the wax seal. So I placed that down with some strong adhesive, and I also added some strong adhesive to the back of my wax seal to attach this to my card. Now I know I could have poured the wax onto the card, but as this was my first time, I thought it'd be better to create a wax and glue it on than risk totally ruining everything on my card and me being super sad. So I finalized the card. I think it turned out really pretty. I love this combination of metallic and opal colors. The pink and the green are so pretty. And I hope that you enjoyed this process with me, seeing some of the new products that are coming out as part of Spellbinders Core Collection release. Let me know if you have tips for me with these wax seals so that way I can get better at them, and check out a video again soon on my channel. But make sure you hop down to the next creator by using that link in my description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll click like, and if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. As always, you can find everything I use down below in the description box. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye!